Hello and welcome to Top of Mind with Ann and Rachel. My name is Rachel Prophet. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a white woman with long red hair that's pulled up today. I am wearing a green t-shirt with a red hoodie over it. And I'm in my office with my epic sticker wall behind me as usual. I also have Ann with me today. Ann, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Ann Krupke. I'm a senior fast track solution architect at Microsoft. I work with Rachel. My pronouns are she, her. I'm also a white woman with brown and purple hair, which is also pulled up today. I'm wearing a green sweatshirt and I'm coming to you from my home office.
It's the infamous green sweatshirt.
It is the
If
same.
you've never joined us before,
Yeah. I have a
come
favorite
come back
article
another
for the
week
thing,
and you might
okay?
see this green sweatshirt again. It's all good. We are so excited though today. We have a special guest, Seth. Seth, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us all about yourself.
Yeah,
Tell us
absolutely.
all the things.
I'm really happy to be here first, Rachel and Ann. So thank you for having me. And I am also part of the Fast Track team. And based on, I guess, a recent reorganization, I have global responsibility for what internally we refer to as the DCCP room of the house. What that means is responsibility for the ways that Fast Track attaches to big customers who are implementing contact center solutions, and we've also couched in there, I guess, field service as well. But yeah, been with the team since 2017, and anyway, never a dull day in this quarter of Microsoft.
Well, and so for our viewers that might need an accessible introduction, is it okay if I do it for you, Seth?
Oh yeah, so he, him, and I don't have any hair.
You're a white male and you wear glasses,
right.
And you've got a blue. It's kind of looks blue, maybe.
It's actually gray, but I think my blur on within StreamYard is making it look better than and me, by the way, better than I actually do in person. So
awesome. Yeah. So first, before we ask you what's top of mind, can you please tell everyone what exactly is DCCP? I know, like, we here at Microsoft love acronyms, and I'm guessing that people may not know. So can you maybe explain what it is?
Yeah, it's so funny. You're right about the acronyms at Microsoft, and I would say, like, whatever it was, maybe like 6 or 8 months ago when we pivoted in this direction, I didn't know myself, and I remember going out to the Microsoft, SharePoint site and digging around to try and figure out, so I didn't have to look stupid and ask somebody else, what it actually meant. But DCCP means Digital Contact Center Platform. And when we look at everything that we our implementers and our customers and friends know about what was Microsoft CRM and now is Dynamics 365 through the lens of customer service, it takes us a step backward in terms of just the regular case management that we've always known since version 1, and really marries that with everything that we know today as Microsoft attempts to claim space within what we're referring to as kind of an all-in-one digital contact center space, which means really meeting customers, and agents from a customer service perspective, where they are meeting their customers on any channel that they want to engage us with, whether it's email or chat or a social channel, and then giving agents and customers the tools that they need to really to amplify that service in a way that's world-class. So hopefully that answers the question.
I've got 2 more questions, follow-ups. So first of all, I think you said a phrase that we use very often at Microsoft, but maybe not as often in the community, which is rooms of the house. So Can you explain to our listeners what that is? And also, in lieu of kind of rooms of the house method of looking at things, a lot of our community members still kind of think about things in terms of products. So if there are specific products that fall under DCCP, can you explain what those are?
Yeah, I'll answer the first question or the second question first, which is, from a products perspective, DCCP comprises of what we know as Dynamics 365 customer service. Also, where we're leveraging Dynamics 365 customer service along with virtual assistant, PDA. and then also nuance, which is important. And as we, I think, get more crisp on our product strategy between Dynamics 365 and nuance, those products should really come together in a way that converge to enrich what we're aiming for, which is an all-in-one digital contact center platform. On
PVA, pause. PVA equals Power Virtual Agents.
Yeah, good.
For our
so
listeners,
here I
in
am
case
with
you
the
didn't know.
acronyms
Yeah,
again.
it's fine.
Yeah,
You're,
that's
you're representing Microsoft
Just like
on
alphabet
P,
soup
right?
over here.
That's hilarious. So on your first question, though, rooms of the house, I think when Charles Lamanna took over as corporate VP for business applications inside of Microsoft, it was pretty exciting. And I think he's done a lot in a way to change the culture. We have a bad habit, not only with acronyms at Microsoft, but as a product company, to be, I think, thinking and orienting ourselves in the market as like product and technical experts. And that reverberates in the way that we show up to our customers and to our partners and to, quite frankly, our customers' customers, which is we don't often pause to say, what do we look like to the business, and how do we, especially within the business application space, show up to that incredibly important segment of our stakeholders, right? When we look externally. And so this concept of room of house was really to pair our products, our technology, with the different business stakeholders that exist across the organization, and to understand really those stakeholders as well as we do our technical counterparts within organizations. And so I think that the phrase room of house has persisted, but if you dig underneath it, it was really an invitation for us to look, for Microsoft and for business applications at Microsoft specifically, to look broadly at the stakeholders that we're serving with customer service application or a Power Virtual Agent, or for that matter, any of the other apps that are in our business application suite. So DCCP, or Digital Contact Center Platform, is a room of the house, but we have other rooms of the house when you look at the fact that customer service is but one of the apps that make up the Dynamics 365 suite.
Quiz.
Yep.
Do you know what the other rooms of the house are? Can you tell our viewers?
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna ask Anne that, but I think yeah. Let's see here. So
I think between the three of us, we can come up with all of them.
No. So
well, I know what room of the house I'm in, right?
What,
so we as Fast Track align to the room of the house kind of model as well, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. So to answer the question, DCCP, customer service, Power Virtual Agents, nuance, DCX. Here we are. Digital customer experience would be marketing, sales, customer insights, as well as commerce. I think we've got supply chain management as a room. We also have finance and service-centric ERP, and am I missing one? I'm not sure, but
low code, no code is a room of the house.
Yep.
And finance and service-centric ERP includes our products for Dynamics 365 Finance, HR, and project operations, right, Rachel?
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the room that I technically align with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got 3 rooms right here today with you to answer your questions. So if you do have questions, feel free to put them in the comments and we'll try to get them answered. But the real reason why we have top of mind, Seth, is so that we can ask people what's top of mind.
Yeah. So, when we started our Microsoft's fiscal year 2023, which we're just about ending, even though it's calendar year halfway through, I came to my product lead for DCCP, Vinod Balasubramanian, and I said, what is it that we can do differently for greater or outsized impact in this fiscal year? This was last August. And we did a bunch of brainstorming, and we brought that brainstorming to leadership and presented it to them. And right around that time, there had been an internal senior leadership meeting that's monthly, where we pause to talk about signal that's coming from the field based on work that Fast Track is doing. We call it implementation health review. And in that meeting in particular, there was this discussion among senior leaders within the business applications group that basically said, like, we've got gaps in our product, and so much so that beyond the training, beyond the documentation that exists almost endlessly on MS Learn, formerly Docs, we need to roll up our sleeves and actually build a different kind of resources. It could be guides, but we wanted even to move away from documentation and jump into even code that we could hand off to project teams to, quite frankly, make something like setting up unified routing within Dynamics 365 customer service omnichannel easier to do, faster to do, and quite frankly, at lower risk. And so what I, kind of got in my head, shameless plug, I guess, for the longstanding goodness of the XRM toolbox, was exactly that image. And ultimately, we presented this list of brainstorm items to our senior leadership after that discussion had occurred within that forum. And they came back to us and said, "This is great, but we want you within the digital contact center space to join forces and ultimately just build out a set of resources like the ones that I just described. It could be more documentation if that's what's needed, but what we're really doing is, like, with this initiative, looking at white space that really exists when we look at our products, and the question is, in what way, shape, or form can we make our implementing stakeholders, our customers and our partners, their lives easier as they go about, in my case, implementing Dynamics 365 customer service or an omni-channel solution. Our code name internally is Optimized 25 for this, and I think we're still kind of in the throes of deciding what this looks like, or what we call it when we go public. That's less important though than the actual resources that we're putting forward. And if you don't mind, I could actually share my screen to give a perspective on some of the things that we've pulled together for this inaugural release, which I believe we're targeting for the very beginning of July.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let me see.
Quick preface. I think you know this, Seth, but this is a publicly facing broadcast. So, we don't normally put NDA content because we can't guarantee that all of our watchers are, under NDA. So
yeah,
I think that. Just want to make sure we're saying it.
If I have a really quick question on my screen sharing, if I have 3 monitors, is there a way for me to choose within StreamYard?
Yes. Once you click present, you'll get a question at the top of the screen that asks you to pick the monitor you want to show.
Okay. Let me try that again.
In the meantime, Rachel, did you know that, like, every time I join a team meeting now, I get asked to tell jokes until everybody joins?
Oh,
it's like a thing that
so
happens.
we could tell a joke while people are, waiting, or while we're waiting.
Oh, it looks like Seth's got his. See, we'll have to just tease the joke for later then. I've added Seth's screen to the stream.
Oh, cool. So the first thing that you'll notice about this slide on the trip down acronym lane is that I called it
how many acronyms are there?
Yeah, as I called it, Optimized 25. We were like, it's not really like a customer partner facing name, but the spirit of it is provide resources to project teams, even beyond documentation, that would make implementing our apps faster, easier, and higher quality. That the 25 was this sort of like reach for the stars, make it 25% faster, 25% easier. I don't know that we're at a place where we can say the resources that are a part of this inaugural release will actually guarantee 25% faster, easier, lower risk. But again, it was more of an aspirational sort of statement. And so we've been bouncing around in, internally names that might work for public facing. And this is an old slide that needs updating, but like where you see fit, there was like, kind of a, would fast track implementation toolkit make sense? But that's less important. Let's actually talk.
Can I just point out though that the F is a different font, so it looks a little bit like F it.
That's awesome. F
it.
Why didn't you say that earlier when I was coming up with this this FIT acronym?
Well, now you can call me. I think it's great. Like, F it, let's do it 25% faster. Like, I'm into that.
Let's do it. I love that.
That's great.
There's secret hidden meetings behind everything.
So with that, and thank you, Anne. The comic relief is much needed in the middle of my workday. We formed 5 different work groups when we kicked off this initiative earlier in the year, and we acknowledged in the formation of those work groups that we have problems everywhere, or challenges that we want to face in implementing our Dynamics 365 customer service solutions. But we looked at testing, we looked at the development of a component library, we looked at improvements to ALM. We also acknowledged that there are some gaps in making it easy for customers who want to take a third-party channel, in this case telephony, and bring it into their Dynamics omnichannel solution. And we also acknowledge some room for improvement from an analytics perspective. And so if we go around this wheel, maybe I'll start with analytics. This one's pretty basic, but it's important because not every organization or project team knows the Dynamics 365 customer service or omnichannel data model that well. And that's critical to know in order to get the best out of reporting or analytics, no matter what direction you decide, whether you decide to stay out of box or, for that matter, go down the path of Power BI. So this playbook really is a step-by-step guide that would allow for a project team to have a more generative discussion with knowledge at their fingertips that isn't readily accessible without kind of digging through numerous MS Learn documents, which can be tiresome. And so it kind of puts it all in one place. And whether you take the path of out of the box or going down the path of Power BI, the analytics playbook really gives a perspective of how to optimize that work stream within your customer service implementation. The channel integration framework. This is where we get into
That's the CIF on the right.
Yeah. Oh yes. CIF v2 is neat in the sense that this gets us away from documentation, which we have a lot of, and into the space where we're actually providing a solution code that project teams can leverage. You'll find this directly on GitHub and soon when we do the release. And there's a click to dial control as well as a channel integration v2 simulator that allows you to get value quicker out of your implementing of third parties and bringing that telephony channel in. ALM is really, there's a step-by-step guide that we've put together. There's a guide on backup and restore. There's also a configuration migration guide. The configuration migration tool that's out there exists, but it was built at a platform level to serve like all different kinds of Dynamics 365 implementations. And again, there's that pesky customer service data model that you need to have sort of knowledge of. Otherwise, it ends up turning into quite an effort. And I can tell you the number of times that Fast Track has been called to come in and basically help to just leverage the configuration migration tool for a particular project where they've run into particular issues or problems. There's also this cool solution component validator. How many times have you been a part of an implementation with a big set of developers and you've run into unintentionally creation of managed layers? This solution component validator tool actually helps to identify those and where you have them, what environments, and it sort of amplifies the existing capability. And then component library. There's like a long list of just code samples that will be available that are specific to customer service implementation. So a sample PVA bot that focuses on multi-language. Other favorites, AI case deflection, that's actually a big one when we think about the importance of deflection in the context of customer service scenarios. How to get channel-based presence up and running really quickly. There's that. I think there's a sending links to secure blob stores for speech playback. There's a long list, and you see that postponed. What this really means is we had like big plans for our inaugural release and just ran out of time. And so this is just the beginning. What's also important to note is that we've got like ongoing revs of this. We're attempting to match the twice yearly release cycle and give ourselves the opportunity to not only expand the number of working groups. So beyond what you're seeing here, we may have other working groups that produce resources like the ones that you see here. But each one of these working groups will continue on, and there will be additional releases that we do in the future. The last one is the testing work group. And in this case, we provide a testing strategy. There's so many customers that come to us, especially when they go into the farther reaches of the test cycle, which includes like automated testing or performance testing. And they want to know, what should they include in that test strategy or that test plan that's baked in there. At the same time, there's a tutorial around automation testing, which includes sample scripts. Same thing from a load test perspective. And we want to, as I said, make it easier. And so not only giving the tutorial, but handing off a set of test scripts is also something that would help to jumpstart, we hope, project team's effort in this area. So that's a bit of a tongue taste. More on this to come, I think, around the early July timeframe. We haven't quite nailed down our marketing moment, but at any rate, these things are forthcoming.
But I think the thing that's super cool about all of this is it's all going to land in that guidance hub. So we've been talking about that guidance hub with the business process guides. So all these great tools that Seth is talking about are going to wind up in that guidance hub. So if you haven't already marked it, it's super easy to get to aka.ms/one guidance. And this is just a little tiny taste of some of the goodness that's coming specific to DCCP. So bookmark it, go check it out. You can even subscribe to RSS feeds on it, so when we're publishing new stuff. But definitely, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, go check it out.
So you're not supposed to ask people who their favorite kid is, but Seth, what's your favorite of these 5 areas?
I think I would say probably, man, it's a toss-up. I would probably say the testing capability. The biggest amount of feedback.
Is it the automated testing automation or?
Yeah, I think the whole package, testing strategy template with the automation testing as well as load testing tutorial. The reason for it is that, and I'm just going to put it out there. It's not a lie that although we've got numerous customers on on Dynamics 365 customer service omnichannel, there's a common question that's coming to us saying, like, I can't be in a place where I'm essentially like testing in production. Is there a mechanism, Microsoft, that exists that allows me in a non-prod environment to do my load testing, as an example? And that's, one step on the way of, like, the previous effort that needs to be made from an automation testing perspective. We need those things in the glove in order to serve our enterprise customers. It's really, really critical. And our hope is that this is our initial foray in really being able to provide a meaningful answer to customers when it comes to especially omni-channel testing, being able to load test the channels and see, based on the solution that we've implemented, does it hold up, especially when you look at contact center environments and retail and other seasonally affected environments where we've got these crazy spikes, and we can't wait for those spikes to find out whether or not the solution is going to hold up, if that makes sense.
Totally. I mean, I think that's that's the biggest thing I've ever heard stops people from going live. Because if you haven't done performance testing, we're not giving you a prod environment, right? I know, Rachel, I feel like you've had that conversation before. And
I have.
and when we talk to customers, knowing what their expected volume is going to be and truly validating it, testing is just such a hard part of an implementation because there's a million things going on. And it's the thing that people always, they cut it too short, they push it too late. So the more tools that we have to help customers test our products before they go live on them, like, that's awesome. So,
yeah.
Good choice.
The other thing I wanted to say, it looks like we've got like 1 or 2 minutes left in this show, but I would be remiss not to mention it. I saw Phil Seaton in the comments, so maybe I'm talking to you and others that are listening in. But for any of the things that you see here, technically available now, we would love if you've got a customer where you think that any of these resources could be useful, or you want to learn more about it. Just reach out. Super happy to either provide a demo and or provide you access to the resources. Some of these are already out on GitHub, and ultimately you could use them. We would, quite frankly, benefit from the feedback in real life scenarios, real life projects. So
yeah, I'll throw a qualifier on, just a reminder that DCCP refers to most particularly Dynamics 365 customer service. We do have a lot of Dynamics 365 finance and supply chain management users who kind of are in Rachel's and my network because that's the rooms of the house we live in. But
yep.
That we are also doing Optimize 25 for all of the rooms of the house, right, Seth?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
There should be other. We should try to call some other folks on here, huh, Rachel, to share what we're doing in the other areas as well.
For sure. I think we can probably work on getting some of those scheduled in the upcoming weeks. But I mean, I think this has been great, Seth. Thanks for coming on and sharing with us all the cool stuff that's coming up with DCCP and the Guidance Hub and all these really cool tools. I'm sure our viewers appreciate it. I know I appreciate it. So with that, thanks for joining us on Top of Mind with Ann and Rachel. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Ann.
Bye, all.